Hello, hello, you guys, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there today, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are around the globe? I hope that you all are doing just fabulous, just like my daughter's hair is doing fabulous.
Anybody knows anything different about obvious
Well,
my hair?
oh, okay, all right. Well, so what we're going to do today, this is my daughter and I, we haven't done a video recorded a video rather on YouTube in a while together. We usually do our partner readings on Facebook Live.
This time the words aren't upside down. I mean backwards.
Exactly. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to read this awesome book together. Okay.
Jamaica Tagalong.
Excellent, excellent. All right. And what we are going to do after that, we are going to discuss the book. And the reason why I wanted to do it like this is because I want to help children who are struggling with reading, in particular with comprehension. And so I am going to be asking Sauda some different questions after she and I read the book together. So we're going to take turns reading this book. All right. So I'm going to ask her different questions, like, for example, who was the main character? Where did the story take place, which is the setting? What was the problem in the story? How was the problem solved? All right. So these are things that you should definitely pay attention to when you are reading different books, different passages, and especially now we're getting towards the end of the school year, and a lot of kids are
2019.
I know.
Before you know it.
Yeah. And a lot of kids are preparing, just like you are doing, Sauda, for that third grade reading test, right? Even though I've said plenty of times, I'm not a big fan of those tests at all, but
I have to take it.
unfortunately, that is something that, kids across America, have to take. And I get the fact of trying to make sure our children are prepared for reading. But one of the main ways to getting your child prepared for reading and making sure that they are going to be successful readers is getting them to have lots of experiences that they can talk about and draw from. And so even with this book right here, which is going to be dealing with a brother and a sister, who are going to be having a problem in the story. And, basically, this is something that I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there can relate to. All right. So we want you to activate your schema, which is another way of saying think about the experiences that you have had already. All right. That's dealing with this particular story. Okay. So now I'm about to get started, and I'm going to let Sauda read first.
Yeah,
And Sauda's raising her hand.
Question.
Yes. What question did you want to ask?
That.
Yes.
And in the story, when you finished the book, then that didn't happen to me. Because I already read the story, and it didn't happen to me.
But guess what? Remember, I asked you that earlier, right? I asked you, could you relate to this? And you said no. And I said, okay. I said, well, maybe you can give an example of somebody else that you saw that happened to. Maybe one
And
of
I said, my 2-year-old little brother. He
and
acted too.
yeah.
But he
She
actually
that was her way of trying to slide that in, that her 6-year-old brother, who she feels like acts like a little baby sometimes, so she trying to slide that
he's
in,
a
y'all.
mama's boy.
Let's start the story. The title is what?
Kuchahana.
Stop it. What's the title?
Jamaica Tagalong.
Say it louder.
Jamaica Tagalong.
Thank
Might
you.
say problems.
And the author is Juanita Havill, and the illustrations are by Anne Sibley O'Brien. All right.
What is problems? That's the theme.
That's the theme of the book, right?
Isn't there another book that you said that's a problem?
No, I said that was a chapter in a book that I was reading. A Fish in a Tree, by the way. All right. And I'm gonna let Sauda begin.
Yeah, by Unita Hadi.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Jamaica ran into the kitchen to answer the phone, but her brother got there first. It's for me, Ossie said. Jamaica stayed and listened to him talk. Sure, Ossie said. I'll meet you at the court. Can't see it, probably.
Yeah, that's good. Yep, I can see that now. All right.
The words are small, so you can't see it.
Ossie got his basketball from the closet. I'm going to shoot baskets with Buzz. Can I come too? Jamaica said. I don't have anything to do.
That's a weird name, Buzz.
All right.
Anybody? That's an like Jamaica. Call your own friends. Everybody's busy today. I don't want you tagging along. I don't want to tag along, Jamaica said. I just want to play basketball with you and Buzz. You're not old enough. We want to play serious ball.
Okay, show the picture. Okay. All right, awesome.
Stand in.
Ossie dribbled his basketball down the sidewalk. Jamaica followed at a distance on her bike. Buzz was already at the school court, shooting baskets with Jed and Maurice. She parked her bike by the bushes and crept to the corner of the school building to watch. That's not fair, Jamaica thought. Maurice is shorter than I am. Pom, pa-pom, pa-pom, pom-pom. The boys started playing. Ossie and Jed against Buzz and Maurice.
Jamaica sneaked to the edge of the court. Maurice missed a shot, and the ball came bouncing toward her. Jamaica jumped. I've got the ball, she yelled. Jamaica! Ossie was so surprised he tripped over Buzz. They both fell down. Jamaica dribbled to the basket and tossed the ball. It whirled around the room and flew out.
Awesome. I almost made it, Jamaica shouted. Can I be on your team, Ossie? No! N-O, Jamaica. I told you not to tag along. It's not fair. You let Maurice play. We need two on a team. Why don't you go play on the swings and stay out of the way?
Maurice versus who? No, Maurice and Buzz against Ossie and Jed. I still think it's not fair. Jamaica walked slowly over the sand lot. Why is it called a sand lot?
I don't know. I've never heard of sound. Used to hearing sand lots, actually.
Might be our own book.
She started to swing, but a little boy kept walking in front of her. His mom should keep him out of the way, Jamaica thought. She looked up and saw a woman pushing a baby back and forth in a stroller.
Jamaica sat down in the sand and began to dig. She made a big pile with wet sand from underneath. She scooped in sand from the mound to form a wall. Berto, help, said the little boy. He sprinkled dry sand on the walls. Don't, said Jamaica. You'll just mess it up. Jamaica turned her back.
Yeah, straighten it up. There you go. Excellent.
Yeah. Webcam. Like if you put it that way, then it'll just that way. Just like my hands.
She piled the wet sand high. She made a castle with towers. She dug a ditch around the wall. Jamaica turned to see if Berto was still there. He stood watching. Then he tried to step over the ditch, and his foot smashed the wall. Stay away from my castle, Jamaica said. Berto, the woman pushing the stroller said, leave this girl alone. Big kids don't like to be bothered by little kids.
That's what my brother always says, Jamaica said. She started to repair the castle. Then she thought, but I don't like my brother to say that. It hurts my feelings. That's Berto. That's Berto. And that's Jamaica Tagalong.
Good job, good job. Jamaica smoothed the wall. See, Berto, like that. You can help me make a bigger castle if you're very careful. Jamaica and Berto made a giant castle. They put water from the drinking fountain in the moat.
Wow, Ossie said when the game was over and the other boys went home. Need some help? If you want to, Jamaica said.
Okay, sure.
This is Ossie. This is Berto.
Got it, but we're
This
closer.
is Jamaica.
We're closer. Excellent. Gotta make sure. Yeah, keep it up. There you go. Is that the end? Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh nope. Jamaica, Berto, and Ossie worked together on the castle.
Jamaica, Ossie, and Berto. That's my sister's name, Ossie. Ossie. Jamaica didn't even mind if Ossie tagged along. Hold on, let me read that again. Jamaica didn't even mind if Ossie tagged along.
All right.
That's Jamaica.
That's the end. That's the end.
That's weirdo face.
Now, Sauda, you are in the hot seat.
Moat?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. I wrote that down. On the paper. Okay. So Sauda right now, she is prepared to answer these questions because this is a key part of reading, right? The first part is being able to actually say the words, right? You have to be able to read the words because if you can't read them, then guess what? The whole reading process is going to be a struggle, okay? So obviously, as you saw with Sauda, she was reading very well, and that's the first part. Now the next part is the comprehension part. Did she understand the story? That's right, comprehension. Comprehension is another word for
test. Like I pick P, purpose, I enter C, comprehension.
Oh,
K.
love it, love it. That's right. That's what's up. All right. And so now, this is what I want you guys to do. Pay attention to the title of the story, right? Jamaica Tagalong. First, I want to ask Sauda this question. Why do you think this story was called Jamaica Tagalong?
Because she wanted to tag along and be with all the other boys and be shooting hoops like LeBron James.
Okay.
And Kyrie. Okay, I don't like Kyrie anymore. Switch to Boston.
Oh goodness. And Sauda, what is a tag along though? So what is a tag along?
Going with somebody and doing with them, just following them, stalking.
Well, I don't want to say that it's like stalking, but you're right. It's like somebody who's kind of following along, right? It's like a tag along, somebody kind of following along and trying to be with that person or the group. All right. So obviously, with Jamaica Tagalong, now let's go into why was it called Jamaica Tagalong? When was Jamaica trying to Tagalong in the story? Give an
She
example of
found
that.
tag along when he was going to the basketball court
Mm-hmm.
to play basketball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you say he, who are you referring to? Who are you talking about?
Aussie.
Okay. Ossie. And who is Ossie in the story?
Aussie is her big brother,
Mm-hmm.
and Aussie is my sister's nickname.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
her name
right.
is Asia.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? How we can do that in the story. You may read something and then it makes you think about somebody else, right?
Like these two kids in my class, they found their names in a book.
Yeah, awesome. That's what's up. So, okay. You don't have to whisper. We're on the video. But now the next question. Let's stay on task, right? Because that's a big part of, when you're answering questions, you got to stay on task. All right, Sada? So I want you to have your thinking caps on, just like everybody else out there who heard the story, they were listening, have on your thinking caps, okay? So, next question is, now, no, we're not getting into that. I'm trying to go in order of the book, all right? So, who was the main character in the story? Who was the story about? Jamaica, right? Okay.
Jamaica and Aussie. A little bit Aussie.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. That's
Is it
right.
Aussie or Aussie?
I would say Aussie. All right.
We'll see.
And so Aussie, and you already told us earlier that Aussie is her big brother. Okay. And so why did Aussie tell Jamaica that she could not come and play basketball with him and his friends? Why did he say that to her?
Because she was too small.
Mm.
He said yes to Maurice, probably because he's a boy.
That's right. And that's another question. Let's draw from that. Now, remember, of course, we'll get to that when we talk about when I ask you about what did Jamaica actually do. Now, he told her no, right? He said, no, I don't want you to play. I'm going to play basketball with my friends. Okay. But then what did Jamaica do? What did Jamaica wind up doing?
She jumped in the game.
Mm-hmm. She jumped in the game. So she went on, and how did she get there though? She did what?
She she parked her bike by the bushes. Jamaica followed. Aussie dribbled his basketball down the sidewalk. Jamaica followed at a distance on her bike.
So stop right there. Stop right there. Okay. So you see what Sauda just did? I asked her the question. I said, well, what did Jamaica wind up doing, right? After he told her no, he went on ahead and left. And then Sauda, what she did, she found the example in the text. She found the evidence to show this is what Jamaica did. She went and got on her bike, followed Aussie at a distance, and why did she do that? Why did she follow him at a distance? Why do you think she chose to do that? Well, that means that she was not real close to him. Why did she do that?
So he won't know.
So he won't know what?
That she followed him.
Exactly. Because he already had told her no. That's right. Okay. Have a seat. All right. And then and now let's get to the Maurice question. Remember, Sauda, you said, okay, well, Maurice was shorter than her. Just because Maurice is shorter, does that mean that Maurice was the same age or younger than her?
No.
No.
Because you could be like my sister, Asia, is taller than my brother, but my brother's older.
Exactly.
And like my one sister, she's 16, and she's taller than my 21-year-old brother.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So then now we're moving on to the next question I wanted to ask. Now, Sauda, here is one of the problems in the story. That's another major problem, right? What did Jamaica wind up doing to Aussie and his friends' game? What did she do?
Jump in it and be like, sweet splash.
So she went on ahead and jumped in the game anyway, right? So that right there was a problem, right? So would you say that was a problem, Sauda?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a problem, right? How did Aussie feel about that? What What did Ossie say? What was his response? Was he like, thanks, Jamaica, I'm glad you joined the game anyway? Or what did he say?
No!
Chill, all right?
N-O.
That's right. He said N-O, right? And how do we know that? Because of the evidence in the text, right? It says it clearly. She said, I almost made it, Jamaica shouted. Can I be on your team, Ossie? And then he said what Sauda just screamed just a minute ago, all right? No, all right? I told you not to tag along, right? See? Stop. Have a seat. You're doing too much. All right? So, right there, it's just showing you that, hey, he was making it clear, I do not want you to be a part of this game with me and my friends. All right? So then he told her to do what? What did he tell her she need to go ahead and do?
Go in the sandlot.
Okay, he told her to go in the sandlot. He often no, actually no, he didn't tell her to go in the sandlot.
Go away. Stay
Right.
out of the way.
Exactly. He told her to go play on the swings, stay out of the way, right? And why do you think he told her to go play on the swings?
Because that's the woods.
Think a little deeper. Now she's a little girl. He's playing basketball. Say it louder.
Usually little kids want to get on the swing.
Exactly. Little in his mind.
Usually little kids want to get on the swing.
Right. In his mind, basically, little kids should be with little kids in the swing somewhere or playing in the sand lot, right? So that's why he was making it clear. He was letting her know, I don't want you. This is where the big boys roll. Okay. So I know some of you heard that, that term before, that saying before. This is what the big boys do. Okay, so he was letting her know that, hey, look, I don't want you to be with the big boys, me and my friends. You go play with the little kids over there. Get out of my way. Scram, right? So then we come to the part of the story where Jamaica, how does she feel? Sauda, how did Jamaica feel about being told that?
Sad.
She felt sad, right? And a big part of too, when you're reading these books, you can tell that somebody's sad, not just by the language, but when you see the pictures, right? So I'll show you here. Right here, you can see in the book where Jamaica was feeling sad. You see it on her facial expression, right? So those are things in literacy that can help you with your reading. If you're struggling with the words, a lot of times look at the pictures. See what a person's facial expressions, how they're looking. Sometimes you can see when they're happy, they're sad, if they're angry, frustrated, all of those things, right? So then Jamaica, what did Jamaica start to do? When she went over there, she got on the swing, right? Then who came along, Sauda? Who came along? Who was the next character that came along in the story? That she was interacting with, right? Okay, that she was interacting with, right? Stop whispering. Chill. All right. So she was interacting with Berto, right?
Berto is.
No, stop it. He's a little boy. All right. So there's Berto, right, with his cute little self. I know. Yeah, because he's a cutie. He's like, well, probably 2 or 3 years old. All right. When you was 2 or 3, you had a little fat head too.
Yes, you did. Boy.
No, you
like was... my little baby cousin have a big head.
So Berto came along, right? He was in there, and first he was doing what?
Walking in front of her.
He was walking in front of her, right? So he was walking in front of her. And how did she feel about that?
She didn't like it.
She didn't like it.
Swing.
She wanted to swing. Okay. Then next, what did Jamaica start to do?
Build the sand.
She started to build the sand castle, right? And what did Berto do?
He sprinkling dirt.
Okay.
Just like how you sprinkle
brown
sugar on bacon.
Let's show them the picture. And why did Berto do that, Sauda? Why was Berto trying to sprinkle sand where Jamaica was building the sand castle?
Because he was trying to help her.
Trying to help her, right? That's right. So would you say that was his way of trying to play with her? Would you say that? Sure, you could definitely say that. That's exactly what it looked like. Now, what was Jamaica's response?
She like, you'll just mess it up.
Say it into the camera.
You'll just mess it up.
That's right. That's how she felt, right? She's saying he'll just mess it up, right? Then what happened after that, Sauda?
She, um, um,
She was making what? What was she making in the sand?
sandcastle
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then she dug a.
ditch
Mm-hmm. Okay. She dug a ditch where?
on the wall.
Exactly. She dug a ditch around the wall, right?
And then
Okay.
Berto's foot
Ah,
smashed
what did Berto do? Here's another problem in the story.
Berto's foot smashed.
Mm-hmm. That's
ditch.
right. That's right. And what was Jamaica's response?
That's
She said what? Say it right here.
stay away from my castle.
Mm-hmm. And then Berto's mom could hear what was going on because she's right there next to her child. And she basically said what? What did she say? What did Berto's mom say?
Berto's mom said, leave this girl alone.
Say it, say it. Mm-hmm.
She said, leave this girl alone.
Yeah.
And big kids don't like to be bothered by little kids. And then on the next page,
Wow.
Jamaica
Wait,
said
stop,
that's
stop,
mine.
stop. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Now you see, we see the parallels in the story, right? Here it is. Jamaica's brother said that to her earlier in the story, and now Jamaica is hearing that from a lady who is telling her young 2 or 3-year-old the same thing, right? And so, what were you about to say? Jamaica said.
Jamaica said that's what my brother says.
Yep,
And
that's what
it makes her feel sad.
Exactly. So look at here. You see that? You see her, how she's looking and thinking, and she's like, wait a minute, she's reflecting, right? And then look at Berto. And I just love these illustrations because you can see how sad the little kids look. I mean, they just look so sad and so precious, but the illustrator was definitely trying to make that really, really known and shown that, hey, this is what these children are feeling, when they are left out. Okay. So then after that, Sauda, what did Jamaica do? Because she started thinking, reflecting. That's what happens when we see ourselves doing something to someone else that has been done to us. All right. And so Jamaica is such a smart little girl. She is very reflective. She is doing what is called introspection. She's thinking about herself. She's thinking about how she felt when her brother told her that. And she just told another little boy that. Right. So what does Jamaica decide to do that shows she has a big heart? What does she do?
She let the little boy play with her.
Exactly. Exactly. And then look at that. Look at what happens. Ooh, awesomeness, right? When she decided, hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna act like that. Even though my brother did that to me, I'm not gonna do that to Berto. And now she's smiling and Berto is smiling. Then what happens, Sauda? Who gonna step on in the scene? I see, right? And who is I see again?
Her brother.
Her brother, all right? So Ossie done playing his game. He goes over and he says, what?
You need some help.
Now he's saying, need some help. All right. Now, what is Jamaica's big-hearted response?
If you want to.
Whoa! She said, if you want to. Wow. Oh my goodness. Big-hearted response. And then what was the last thing she said?
Jamaica didn't even mind if Ossie tagged along.
Okay, that was the last part of the story, right? Awesome, awesome. So these are things, these are types of questions, again, that you can ask your child, when you're talking about different stories that you've read. And obviously with this, I really was trying to dissect. That's why it was a little longer than my other. Yes, I sure can. Now,
the other question that you wrote.
That was it actually. Now I wrote down.
About the moat.
Yes. Sauda wanted to know because the big word in there in this book was moat. Okay. And so a moat is da 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 da. A moat. I'm gonna let. Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
Say it without looking. A moat is like.
You can look. It's okay.
A wide ditch surrounding a castle.
Hey, wait. What did they say before the wide part?
Ditch.
No.
A deep wide ditch surrounding a castle, fort, or town, typically filled in water.
With
Water. I didn't know.
and what else?
And intended as a defense against attack.
Okay. All right. And so you know what I thought was interesting, Sauda, and I'm glad she brought up moat. And this is going to be the last part of the story that I want to talk about. What I thought was interesting that the person put in the story, the author, how it was showing that Jamaica was building a castle and then it had this moat, right? So she was building up this defense. So it was almost as if like
So
the symbolism. What?
Berto. She didn't want him to like mess it up.
She didn't want Berto to mess it up, but also too, what I thought about is that Jamaica was showing that she didn't want to be bothered. She was shown from her older brother that he didn't want to be bothered. So what happened? She said, okay, well, guess what? My older brother doesn't want to be bothered. Well, neither do I. So I'm going to build this castle and I want to be all alone. And here's my defense right here. And I don't want anybody to come and intrude upon my domain, right? My castle. So right there, I thought, that symbolism right there of her building that castle and just showing how her feelings was hurt and how she wanted to be by herself because that's what her brother was showing her. All right. So these are things. Exactly. He wasn't by himself. You're right. But he was in his little. He just didn't want to be with her. Exactly. And do you think? And here's a question now. This is going deeper. So, do you think that her brother was trying to be mean?
No.
Why? Why don't you think he was trying to be mean?
He don't want to hang out with his friends.
Oh my goodness. Sauda, that's a great point. So do you think, would you agree that it's okay sometimes for siblings to have their own set of friends apart from, their own siblings? Okay. Yes, I agree with that.
My sister have friends.
Exactly.
And my two brothers have friends.
That's right. And your older sister, Sabria,
Older sister. And my older brother.
That's right. Stop it. So basically, in a nutshell, with this story, it definitely is showing the realities of what can happen between siblings and how these things can come up. But guess what? We have ways that we can handle it. And also, it's a way to talk about real life experiences, how sometimes with those older siblings, they really tend to, a lot of times, have their own separate friends and they don't want to always be around their younger siblings. It's okay as long as they're not being mean. As long as they're not trying to say, get away from me, you little scrub, scram, and just being so mean and rude. That's when it becomes a problem. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed the breakdown of this book, Jamaica Tagalong. And I appreciate one of our parents from Stonebrook. She had given all the third graders in the class this book. That's right. So they could be prepared. So we appreciate her. All right. Shout out to Miss Teresa for that. And I thank you, Sauda. Give me a high five, girl. You rocked that out through your yeah. I know all those questions. It was like, oh my goodness. But guess what? We're done. All right, you guys, like, subscribe, and share our videos. And remember to keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Peace.